Here we go, guys. So welcome to 5 Ways to Fast Track Your Wedding Photography and Videography Career. My name is Vitor Lindo, and I'm going to be your host today. This class is hosted by $1 Million Wedding Academy. Just want to let you guys know, which is my masterclass course. This workshop here is going to give you guys a little bit of a taste of that course. Okay. In this webinar, I'm going to teach you guys 5 key ways to fast track your business. I know that bookings are slow for a lot of people right now, but I'm going to show you guys some numbers here that really go against the grain. And the industry, I know a lot of people are hurting, but the numbers don't lie. The industry is growing. And more than likely, as soon as this election cycle is over, we're going to see a really big flurry of inquiries. And I feel like the wedding industry is going to pick back up again. So we're going to talk about some strategies that you can use right now and start implementing into next year for you guys to start propelling your business. Okay. Keeping in mind that this webinar is both for beginners and for experienced photographers. So keep in mind that you will get a lot out of this, even if you've been shooting for 10 years. We have people that have been shooting for over 10 years that have taken the course and that have been blown away by the information, okay? Before we get started, I'm gonna ask for you to please put away your distractions, put away your phone, put away your emails, right? I'm gonna even move some things around here. There you go, so I can see everybody here. Make sure that you are focusing on what we're talking about here because it's going to be a lot of information. I have a lot of slides, and I'm not really selling you guys any fluff. Okay, this is for real. So let's get started here. Okay, so here we go. C.S. Lewis. So, guys, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are now and change the ending. So, whether you're having a slow season, if you are not doing that great right now with your bookings, if you have things in your business that you do want to change, don't get discouraged. Don't get into a negative cycle of thinking that the industry is saturated and things are so wrong and everything is so wrong. And we're photographers, we get a lot of negative self-talk already, right? So let's get inspired, let's get positive and start thinking about this as a transformative experience. Okay, guys. So and like I said before, this class is hosted by $1 Million Wedding Academy, which is the internet's most complete wedding photography and videography course. Don't worry, I'm not going to pitch my course here the whole time. I'm going to actually get into some meat potatoes here. So first, I want to ask you guys if you guys know this fact, right? The average wedding photographer videography salary is only 60K a year. And there is a really big discrepancy because there are people making 30, 40, 50, 60K a year, booking very few weddings, and there are people making 100 grand, 200 grand, right? And if you are going to the gym and putting in all your effort and you are not getting the muscles that you want, you don't have the right training program. So how come some photographers are making 200 grand and some photographers are making 60 grand, right? I feel like if you have a master plan, if you have a roadmap, you are going to be able to skip over those trip wires, right, and get on some stepping stones much quicker. If you have a professional trainer in the gym, you're going to get muscles faster, right? And if you don't, you're going to just run around in the treadmill and you're going to not get any results. So this is most people's faces when they see the amount of information that we have in the master class and just the amount of information that I'm going to have here in this course. Okay. So, and before I even get started, who am I, right? I'm Vitor Lindo. I'm an educator, photographer, and videographer, and I've done over 450 weddings in my career. I've worked with over 20 brands. I've worked in 4 different continents, 40 different cities. I've been published in New York Times, Style Me Pretty, Martha Stewart Weddings, um, Inside Weddings, all kinds of different places, right? I've been doing this for 12 years. So the publications really are endless, right? I've shot in Paris and Tuscany, Miami, Cancun. So I've had a lot of trial and error, a lot of error. And I tell you these things for you to understand that even with all these accolades and all this experience, I still have made 100 mistakes, and I have prepared a class that's going to help you, skip these mistakes over. Okay. So what are you going to learn today in this class to help you skip these mistakes? You're going to learn how to use 5 strategies, right, to fast track your wedding career and bridge that pay gap. You're going to try to bridge that pay gap, right? Some folks are going from zero, they've never shot a wedding, they're just trying to get to their first 60 grand a year. Or perhaps you have been doing weddings for a very long time and you're trying to bridge the gap from 60 to 200K, right? So all these strategies will apply equally effectively to beginners or pros. I can promise you that. Okay, guys. And next slide here. And here we go. Cool. So, what can you expect to learn today, guys? You're going to learn how to leverage your photo and video skills to build a strong reputation. Even if you don't have a portfolio, notice how I said leverage your photo video skills, not your portfolio. So even if you don't have a portfolio yet, and if you at least have some photo and video skills, right, you can leverage that into quickly building a very strong reputation, right? And how are you going to do that, Vitor? How do I do this? So you grow a network of wedding vendors who are going to consistently refer clients to you, right? And you want to book these clients, right, effortlessly, right? You don't want to have this great network that gives you a lot of weddings and you can't even book them, right? You're having trouble booking them. So we're going to help you break some misconceptions that are going to probably be holding you back. Perhaps maybe they're holding you back at 60K, or they're holding you back from getting into the industry, or they're holding you back from getting to 200K. So the purpose of this class is to give you these strategies to help you prepare. So if you're having trouble finding clients, if you don't know how to close leads, if you don't have a business plan, if you don't do market research, if you have no idea how to vendor network, if your idea of vendor networking is cold emailing planners and messaging planners on Instagram saying, "Hey, I would love to work with you. I love your photos," that is not going to work out. There are a lot of photographers and people are busy, right? This is not 5 years ago. People are busy. Their phones are ringing and dinging all day long. People have kids. I have 2 kids. The phone is always ringing for something. So you need to kind of rise above that noise. And I'm going to show you guys in this class, okay, how you do that. So let's talk about who is this webinar for? It really is for aspiring and professional photographers and videographers. So just want to say that again, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be coming in here from both camps. We have photographers and videographers, and we have beginners and we have pros. So there's a lot of different camps of people joining in, watching us from all the different platforms. So I just want to make sure if you're joining in now and if you're just, hopping on now, this is for you, whether you're beginner, professional, photographer, or videographer. Okay. So we really have something here to help you refine your approach. Okay. This webinar is going to have something very, very valuable to you. Okay. So let's get going here. Next one. Building a brand is really a lot easier than people think, right? Building a successful wedding brand is easier than you think. If you're struggling and you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, the answers really are there if you have a reliable guide, whether this guide is me or other, photography educators, or your local photography group, or perhaps a local mentor that you find. I really, really just like the personal training, right, analogy. If you go to the gym for the first time and you've never lifted weights, or even if you're like a part-time gym goer, if you had a professional trainer, you're going to build muscle so much faster, or you're going to lose weight so much faster, or whatever it is you're trying to do. So you really need a reliable guide. If you're trying to figure things out by yourself, you are not going to have much success. So let me tell you guys about myself as your guide. I have a quick here, just a little, I'm just showing you guys my website, just so you guys know who I am and where I'm coming from. This is some of my work. This is our team, myself, my wife, Sarah, and one of our associate photographers. This is, some of our work in the last few years, some of the companies that we've worked with, Not only have we shot weddings, we've worked with BMW and Mitsubishi and Dell, right? They've flown us to Brazil to make content for them before. So if you actually go here on my website, you can actually see a really cool interactive map from around the world, and you can see all the different places that I have shot in, all the different places I've been published in, all the different magazines. So I just want to show you guys a little bit about my brand, right? My website. I feel like it speaks a lot to a photographer's brand, and just show you guys a little bit about of who I am and why do I feel like you guys should listen to what I am saying here. So, the next thing that I feel like puts me in a really good position to show you guys all of these things, okay, is these real invoices. This is all real income from my business. This is not fake. These are screenshots from 17 Hats, my CRM. So these are all real invoices. This is all real income from real weddings. I really had weddings that paid me $30,000, 25,000, 20,000, 19. 17. It kind of goes here in descending order, but you can see just here, there's got to be 150 grand just here and only a few invoices. This is I know that this sounds like such a high number, but there are folks even reaching greater and greater numbers, right? The sky really is the limit. If you're only charging right now $1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, the sky really is the limit. You can reach invoices like this if you follow certain steps and build your business in a way that is going to make these type of leads funnel into you. Okay. So yeah, this is my face. This is my face every time I see those invoices. Even, I booked the weddings and I still can't believe every time I look back, I'm like, wow, somebody paid me $30,000 for a wedding. So that's pretty incredible. So, how's your business today? So, think about where you are now and where you'd like to be 18 months from now. So, I feel like there's the biggest thing that we have to do is set goals and have a mindset shift, right? Where do I want to be in 18 months? Think about that. Take some time today to even maybe write that down and plan your life, your business, your strategy around your next 18 months because they fly by, right? I have 3.5 year olds, and 18 months is a blink and a lot of diapers. So here is what you're actually going to learn. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. Everything else right now has just really been an intro into who I am, what the class is about, and what I'm going to be talking about, just to give you guys a little bit of kind of some ground to stand on. So what are we going to talk about today in class? We're going to talk about 5 things, right? The 5 ways, the 5 steps, the 5 strategies that you can use to fast track your wedding business now and into next year. We're going to talk about powerful networking tips. We're going to teach you how to supercharge your wedding portfolio. We're going to give you tips on how to become a true wedding pro. We're going to give you tips on how to blow the competition away. And we're also going to explain to you a little bit about how to close couples effortlessly. All right. So in this webinar, we are doing a 10K giveaway. So if you want to participate, all you have to do is go on Instagram, do a screenshot, take a screenshot of any of these slides here that I'm doing, any of these slides from this presentation, and post that on your story, on a reel, whatever you want to do, and tag 3 friends. Make sure they're photographers or videographers, preferably wedding photographers, wedding videographers. Tag them and then tag us. And then there you go. You've entered the giveaway. I'm going to be giving 6 prizes, 2 website, reviews, copy and design, 2 portfolio reviews, portfolio on your website and on your Instagram, and also two 1 hour long mentorship sessions with me. So if you are looking for one-on-one help, if you don't know if perhaps your inquiries are low because it's your website, is it my copy, is it my design, is it my Instagram, is it my user interface? Why am I not getting inquiries, or why am I not closing clients? So I feel like that's the number one issue that people have. People They don't know where the bottleneck is. Is the bottleneck, where is it stopping? Where are the clients? Where's the point of resistance? So this really can help you by getting some fresh eyes, getting a professional or just a different professional. Even if you already are professionals, good to have somebody else, right? If you're a doctor, you can go to other doctors, right? To have them look at what you are doing to see if perhaps you have a blind spot. So this is a really great giveaway, and I hope it can, benefit people. So yeah, go ahead and enter. You guys will get some freebies for attending. You're gonna get an email with three Phoebes. Just is because Joey was there, so I said Phoebes. Haha, three Phoebes. You have to be old and no friends to know this joke, guys. So if you're too young, you don't know friends, you don't know. So you're going to get mental hacks for closing clients. You're going to get a client consultation checklist and a competition analysis worksheet. These are three PDFs that we include in the $1 Million Wedding Academy. One of the dozens of freebies that we include in our masterclass. But I'm giving you guys not only this course, right, that you're watching right now. You're getting three freebies, and you get the giveaway that you can enter. All right. So there's a lot of value that you're getting just for showing up for the class. Okay. So let's talk about the wedding industry. Everyone's talking about how much the wedding industry is sucking right now. Everybody just is spinning their heads around. They don't know what to do. Let's talk about facts. Okay. The wedding industry is projected to grow from 178 billion with a B, this is worldwide, right, to 646 billion by 2032. So that's only 8 years away. And you can see that it's going to grow threefold. So in 8 years, this industry is going to grow 300%, right? I didn't make up this number. I actually went and Googled and researched, and there was a very recent Yahoo Finance report that explained the entire wedding industry, and this number astounded me. So this means that the industry is going to explode. So this is really the face that you should be making when you see this number. It's going to grow 300%. So if an industry that's going to grow 300%, it doesn't matter if it's going through a small cyclical issue right now that because of the election cycle, right? Because of this or this or that, bookings are tight for some people, and then everybody starts freaking out. But the question is, are you going to share in this growth of 300%? So 300%. It's this industry is going to be worth $500 billion annually in just a few years. So you can find yourself a small piece of that very easily. Okay. Wedding pros are struggling, and this is the perfect time to position yourself because the numbers don't lie. The wedding industry is going to grow. And if you don't prepare yourself now, right? If you don't prepare, then if you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail. So make sure that you're getting your ducks in a row now. Okay. Make sure that you are understanding that the industry is not failing. The industry is thriving and is very healthy. Okay. So let's get started. Let's dive into the class. Okay. I want you guys to do a little exercise here. So close your eyes. If you're at home, close your eyes for a second, close your eyes with me, and then just imagine. If you're into manifesting, if you're into The Secret, just imagine like a rain of dollar bills falling on top of you, like it's a Nigerian wedding. If you've shot a Nigerian wedding, you know what I'm talking about. Greek weddings, Nigerian weddings, they have money dance. Imagine it's a Greek Nigerian wedding and there's just money flowing all over the dance floor. This is achievable. There are most wedding pros are making a killing, and only the ones that are not making any money, they're the ones making a lot of noise that the industry is dying, but the industry is not dying. So imagine if you could wake up 2 weeks from now, right, knowing that you have exactly what it takes to get high quality weddings effortlessly. So close your eyes and picture that money raining down, and you're a sought after photographer or videographer. Okay. Even if you have zero experience, you can quickly build a portfolio and establish strong industry connections with strategies that I'm going to start sharing right here. Okay. So, what is stopping you, right, from being one of the top photographers or videographers in your area? What is actually stopping you? Because we know it's not the economy, right? We know that the industry is growing. We know that people are making a killing. I am in a lot of wedding photography and mastermind groups and wedding videography mastermind groups, and people are constantly posting about, I reached 200 grand this year. I reached 300 grand this year. I reached, my first six-figure year. So weddings are happening. There are tens of thousands of weddings happening every weekend, not just in America, but all over the world. Destination weddings are going to increase 16% over the next, I think, 3 years or 8 years. I read that number in the report as well. So the industry is growing left and right. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I even talked to Chat GTP about that, and I put that in the slides here, guys. So let's talk about this first false belief that most people have, okay, which is you don't have enough industry connections. Maybe I'm a pro that I've been shooting for 5 years, or maybe I've never shot a wedding before, and I'm a pro, I'm struggling to get on vendor lists. I don't know what to do. I can't, nobody wants to book me. My just wham 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 wham. I understand. Negative self-talk, I've said it before, like photographers and videographers, artists in general, we are masters at negative self-talk. Like, this is what we do. Right? So if you're and especially if you're an introvert, I'm an extrovert and I still have a ton of negative self-talk. So if you're an introvert, I can't even imagine the amount of negative self-talk that you are going to have. So um let me tell you guys something that is really, really important, and really the key to everything that we are talking about here. Okay, this next slide really is kind of the anchor of of wedding success, and I just let this sink in right here. Okay, this next slide, I should just let this next slide sink. Wedding vendors are all hungry for content. Wedding vendors are hungry for content. Not I'm not talking about photographers and videographers, maybe not even planners, but wedding vendors and wedding venues are hungry for content. Okay, there are new wedding venues popping up daily, right? I'm in Savannah, which is a smallish town, and literally this new wedding venues pop up every month. So there are easily 10 new wedding venues a year, right? So, and that's just in my city. Imagine if you count, within a 2, 3, 4 hour driving distance from Savannah, from your city, how many new wedding venues are popping up, right? The key to your success, right, is learning how to tap into existing and new vendors, right? And existing and new venues, right? What you really need is to create an endless Rolodex of industry connections. Um, Instagram is very important, and posting is very important, and being active is very important. But before you get to posting, you need to get to networking. You need to be bringing value to these vendors in a way that is uh, a mutually beneficial way, that is going to turn them into referral machines for you. Nothing is worth more in the wedding industry than a referral, right? If I've seen people I literally had a videographer. They came to shoot a wedding with me. TikTok had just come out, and they show me on their phone. They have a TikTok account, and they're like, "Oh, what, look at this. Our video got 1 million views." And it was a reaction video of a groom crying and the brides walking down the aisle. And I asked them, I said, did you get any inquiries from these million views? And they said, no, I did not get any inquiries from a million views. So what's worth more to you? Like three wedding venues that give you leads, um, weekly, monthly, or a million views on TikTok. So let's keep the reality here that Instagram is great and TikTok is great, but you can go viral. I see videos all the time from photographers that go viral and their videos have like 100,000 views and or more, and they still only have like 2,000 followers because it views don't always equal money, guys, but referrals equal money. Referrals equal money. If you have 10 referrals from one venue a year, that could be worth 50,000, $100,000 to you, 30,000, I don't know how much you charge for your wedding, right? So it could be worth a lot of money to you. And if you had 10 venues, each sending you three leads a year, that's 30 leads just from venues. All right. So when you really get to building a deep network, your leads are really a factory. That's why I say it's a referral machine. You're literally going to be talking to the planner saying, show me the money. I love this one. So they're going to be bringing you a lot of business, guys. So keep that in mind. Okay, networking is the way to do it. So how do we do it, Vitor? How do I do it? Like, how do I network? How do I get on vendor lists? So let me give you here my little chat GTP conversation. I asked chat GTP for realsies, guys, how many new wedding venues open up each year? And chat GTP said that in highly sought after destinations or major cities, you could see 50 to 100 new venues open up annually. And that is literally my reaction right there. I thought it was going to say like 10 or something. But think about it, if in Savannah we see 10 new venues open up a year, imagine in like New York City or Baltimore or Chicago or whatever, you could literally have 50 new venues open up a year. Those venues need photos, videos, right? Those venues are hungry for content, right? Especially a venue that just opened up now. Those are prime targets, guys. The number one thing you want to be doing when a venue opens up is creating content for that venue, creating blog posts in your website for that venue, getting those keywords up quickly so that you're the first one whenever weddings start to happen. You're the first one to start showing up there when people search, whatever venue at X city, right? Whatever the new venue in Chicago, let's say you live in Chicago and some new venue opens up called whatever, the Hills of Chicago. And then you make a blog post about it. And you create content for them. When weddings start to pop off there, you are going to be the first one that they call. You're going to be the first one that shows up on Google search results. So these are easy, actionable strategies that just the fruit is like ripe for the picking. So it's really easy, right? It's easy. Like, what if you could easily get on just a fraction of these new venues? So if there are 50 new venues around you popping up all the time, what if you could be on just a fraction of those five? You're on five new venues, vendor lists, and they each send you one lead a month. That's five new leads a month. That's an extra 60 leads a year. If you book only, 20% of that, 15, 20, 30% of that, right? That could be a gargantuan amount of your business. Okay. So imagine waking up to an inbox filled with referrals, right? It's easy. It's literally that easy. This is how you should be waking up every morning. If you're not waking up like this every morning, it's because you're not doing these basic strategies that I'm talking about here, right? With the rise of social media, venues and vendors have an endless need for photos and videos. Those 50 venues, they need photos, they need videos, they need blog posts, they need help, they need headshots for their employees. Guys, the list goes on. There's so much that you can do to create content and build value for these new venues in a way that's going to make them love you forever. All right. So keep in mind, photography and videography, both of these industries are thriving because of social media. Everybody needs content, right? The wedding industry is growing. We're going through a slight cyclical downturn now because it's an election year. I've been in the industry for 12 years. I have seen, I think, three election cycles, and every single year, when you have an election, you have this cycle of downturn. But as soon as the election is over, we're going to see a gargantuan amount of inquiries flow in. I've already seen a ton of inquiries flow in the last few weeks here, actually. So you need to kind of get ready to become the go-to pro in your area, right? You really need an easy to follow, complete roadmap that's going to guide you every step of the way. So you know how to reach out to the venues. So you know exactly how to build value for them in a way that's really attractive, right? Everybody wants to get on vendor lists for planners, right? Everyone's trying to get to the, oh, I want to get on that planners vendor list. Planners are more difficult, guys. Planners, you know, planners, if you've been in this industry, planners are type A. They are difficult people. I love them to death. They're difficult people sometimes. They are finicky. They're pickier. Venues and other vendors that I'm going to talk about here, guys. So keep in mind the low-hanging fruit. If everyone's going after planners, what about new venues? What about caterers? What about florists? All of these folks need content, and all of these folks talk to brides and grooms and couples, and they will refer you if you're creating great content for them, if you're adding value, if you're getting your name out there. All right. If all the photos on a catering website are all from you, you put your little logo there, photos by such and such, a little, link to your website, whatnot. Folks are going to find you through that. They're going to book that caterer and they're going to book you because they're going to say, wow, these photos were so beautiful. Who is this? Who took these photos? When that caterer is posting on Instagram and tagging you on all these amazing photos and this amazing work that you did, it gets your name out there in the industry. So go for the low hanging fruit. Don't just focus on planners. It's the hard road. Getting planner vendor lists is the hard road. So let's talk about false belief number two. Most people are going to say to themselves, I don't have the right experience, or I don't have the portfolio. I can't charge more than I want to. I really want to charge more, but I can't. I'm trying to level up the quality of my bookings. Like, how do I do this? Um, if you're a beginner and you're trying to build your portfolio, or if you are an experienced pro, let's say you're trying to get into the luxury market, you need to either grow your portfolio right or evolve your portfolio. And this is really a big sticking point. It's a really big bottleneck for photographers and videographers. How do I do this? I want to get in front of vendors. How do I do it? Help me, help me. All right, cool. What if I told you that growing your portfolio was easy? So easy. This easy. This is, huh? What? What happened? What did he say? What did he say? You can easily grow your portfolio, guys, if you know how. It's not difficult. If you're trying to get a luxury portfolio, or if you're trying to break into the industry the first time, growing your portfolio is easy. Because once again, let's get back to the original kind of root of the issue here, which is wedding vendors and venues are hungry for content. Everybody wants content. Everybody needs content. So if you want to grow your portfolio, it's like you're offering food, you're offering hamburgers to people that are hungry, right? Photographers and videographers hold the keys to the kingdom because people really need content. All kinds of venues and vendors need content, and you can, provide that to them for free, right? For free, guys. Don't charge them. Don't charge them. All right. So let's talk about how do you quickly, right? Because we want this to happen quickly, of course, because we are in a hurry. It's 2024. Life moves fast. So how can we quickly supercharge our portfolio by helping vendors, right? How can we get on vendor lists and grow our portfolio at the same time? Okay. I want you guys to understand that these two things go hand in hand. They are like chocolate and peanut butter. Okay, guys. Two peas in a pod. All right. So grow your portfolio by taking care of vendors and their social media needs. Okay. So this is an actual photo I took at a wedding and for a caterer. They had beautiful plating and I photographed this photo here. So how do you feel like the caterer feels like? How do you feel like the caterer feels like when they see photos like this? Like this is their actual reaction right here. Okay, this is how they feel when they get photos like this, right? When they see the gallery and there's a little section there in the gallery that says catering photos, and they go, wow, this is beautiful. I can use this on my Instagram. I can use this on my website. I can use this to show my clients, right? This starts to build your reputation in the area as a vendor that takes care of the clients, right? No, excuse me, a vendor that takes care of vendors. You're a photographer that takes care of not only the clients, but the vendors. You're not going to be successful if you focus on the clients completely, guys. This could be maybe um, a controversial topic to say, but you're not going to become successful if you put all of your energy in taking care of the clients. You have to leave some energy, you have to leave some room in your business to take care of vendors. Taking care of vendors is really the most powerful thing that you could possibly do for your business. I feel that even it's more important than Instagram. I have booked weddings with planners who had atrocious Instagrams and they were luxury planners, but they had been doing it for so long and they had a word of mouth that is so powerful that their Instagram was old, their website was old. It didn't matter. They were doing such high level events for so long that they didn't need it, right? Everything was word of mouth. They had gotten on the right vendor lists and developed the right relationships over the years. Okay. So, how did they do that? How can you do this? Right? You need to add value to the vendors while simultaneously growing your portfolio so you can build long lasting relationships, right? Go contact your local vendors that you like, right? And create content for them, not just at weddings. If you say, Vitor, well, I don't have a wedding with so and so catering or so and so florist. How am I going to create content for them? Go to their store. If they have a flower store, make a great video of the flower store, a day in the life of a florist, a day in the life of a caterer. If you don't have a wedding with them, ask to go and shoot behind the scenes content for that vendor at another wedding. Tell the vendor, say, hey, I would love to shoot behind the scenes content for you. I'd love to make a really great video for you or some really great photos that you can use for your website or your Instagram. We don't have any weddings, booked. But if you have a really nice wedding coming up, I would love to actually go to the wedding, get some behind the scenes of you guys setting up, get some behind the scenes of your crew. There's so many things that you can do. Get creative, but know that you don't have you don't have to have, that's a lot of haves, a wedding with them. You can get creative. You can shoot things at their business. Don't get discouraged, right? Think outside the box, guys. So this is only one of the many strategies that you need to learn how to use, guys. Getting on vendor lists, not getting on planners lists. Planners are difficult, guys. Try to go for the vendors that don't get as many offers, right? As the planners. Planners are getting emails from photographers every day, right? So let's talk about your false belief number three. So, which could be, I don't have enough business knowledge, right? This is you're talking to yourself, the negative self-talk is getting back in there, and you say, I don't have enough business knowledge. What am I gonna do? Right. Let's just be like really honest, guys. Nobody teaches us how to run a business, right? We are kind of on our own as photographers, and really, it's kind of just once again going back to that. analogy, you need a personal trainer. If you don't know how to go to the gym, you need a personal trainer. If you don't know how to run a business, you need a business coach. If you don't know how to take photos, you need a photography coach, right? So you really need total guidance, right? You can't only know 10% or 5% or piecemeal it, or you're on YouTube trying to figure everything out. You really need 100% guidance on how to identify openings and gaps in the market, and do the right research and be able to take advantage of those gaps. So you need total guidance and in a business roadmap. So just imagine to yourself, what if that part was easy? What if the business part of photography was actually the easiest part of photography, right? Imagine taking a shortcut that is going to save you years and years, because once again, I have made all the mistakes for you. I have made all the mistakes for you in the beginning, and this stuff I'm teaching you here is stuff that was like trucking through the mud. It's like swimming in quicksand, guys. It was hard to come by this information. So don't make the same mistakes I made. This is me after a lot of trial and error, trying to do it by myself, right? Not having guidance. So if you tell yourself, I don't have enough business knowledge, I'm just gonna give up, or the industry is too difficult, or things like that, that's not going to do you any good. You need to kind of pick yourself up, right, by your bootstraps, and take charge, right, of your tutelage, take charge of your destiny, right? The information is out there. You need to kind of just start with a self promise to yourself. It's a bit of a mindset shift, right? If you tell yourself, I don't know enough about wedding business to be successful, then just make yourself a promise. Tell yourself that nothing is going to stop you from becoming one of the top wedding photographers and videographers in your area. You can do it. It's not as complicated as we think it is, and the industry is not as difficult as we think it is. It's actually very, very easy, especially if you're a photographer, videographer, because everybody needs photos and videos. So guys, whether you're going to buy my masterclass, or which is, if you don't, it's totally okay, but please do yourself a favor, find someone that's going to guide you every step of the way. You just can't do it on your own. Some people can, it's very rare. Most folks, even top level folks, they had coaches. They learned from somebody else. You say, well, think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He's the top, biggest, most famous bodybuilder. Da, da, da. He had a coach before he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Somebody taught him how to lift weights. So you just can't do it, on your own, right? But you can easily do it and quickly do it if you know how, if you have, some guidance, right? You really need guidance. This is a really big thing that I tell people, that the truth is, we all need help. This is how I feel most of the time, by the way. What am I even doing with my business? I don't feel like this in parenting. That's funny. When it comes to parenting, I totally feel like I'm nailing that really, really well. I'm like a great, great dad. And but with my business, it's like I'm always like, what am I even doing? And I know a lot of people, a lot of people feel like that. So just it's up to you guys to either take the hard road, or with years and trial and error, just try it by yourself, try it by yourself, try it by yourself, try it by yourself, or you can fast track your life, which is so much, so much better. So all right, let's get to false belief number 4. All right. We have two more of these, 4 and 5. All right. So people talk about all the time, the market is saturated, and the market is not saturated. And this is how I feel when people tell me the market is saturated. I love this character. Um, I like how he combs his flame hair back and everything. So it's great. But the market is not saturated, guys. The market really is not saturated. There are tens of thousands of weddings happening every weekend. Most of the competition doesn't know 95% of what I'm going to teach you in my master class, right? Most of the competition doesn't know even The little bitty stuff I've taught you here, this is only like 1% of what I have in my masterclass. And most photographers don't even think about this. And there's just these blind spots that people are not thinking about. Nobody's thinking about, you know, um, venues and caterers and florists and makeup artists. Everyone wants to get on that vendor list for the planner. Everyone wants to get on a vendor list for that one venue that's really hard to get into the vendor list, right? Go for the low hanging fruit. Create a network, guys. Create a network of referrals. Just constant machine of referrals. Because let me tell you, before couples book photographers, like while they're booking photographers, they tend to be also looking at a bunch of other vendors at the same time. So, we all know that couples tend to book the venue first, right? Then, like photographer, videographer, planner, they kind of tend to book those sometimes around the same time. And they tend to also be looking at all these other vendors at the same time. So, if you're in your city and you are trying to book weddings and somebody is out there looking for a photographer and they contact also a caterer, they contact a florist, they contact a makeup artist, and wow, on all three of those people, your photos are on the website, your behind the scenes, the video is on their Instagram, right? You hear them talking about you. These caterers and florists and makeup artists are talking about you and sending clients to you because they are going to mention your name. I've gotten a ton of bookings from these, quote unquote, random vendors, right? That people don't pay a lot of attention to. So a huge amount of your bookings can come from these side vendors that people are not talking about. So how do you do this, right? You got to hack the emotions of the vendors and the couples with proven marketing knowledge, right? And when I mean hack, I don't mean like it's some super secret ninja mind Jedi trick. It When you provide value to them, right, they are going to feel emotionally connected to you because all of a sudden you came to their business. Let's say they're a florist, you came to the flower shop, you took beautiful photos of the flower shop, of the flowers, of the people that work there, of the owner. You shot some behind the scenes, videos maybe, right? You created all of these things that mean a lot to that person. That's a small business, and these people are putting their heart and soul into it. And then you come in and you display it and you showcase it in a way that's really valuable for them, right? You just hacked their emotions. Like you're in their brain, you're in their heart. Every time they go on their website and they see the photos that you created, the videos that you created, you hacked their emotion. They're going to now have an emotional attachment to your brand. So this is one of the most powerful things that you can be doing. Okay. So every market has gaps, guys. Every market has gaps, and you can easily find that gap. And the leads are gonna flow through that. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about gaps here coming up. So, solution number four, right? So you're going to need either niche down or niche up or expand or evolve, guys. You need to be moving, right? Your business can't stay stagnant. You can't be just wishing that you're going to magically rise above the noise, right? How do you rise above the noise without just magical thinking? Really, market research and positioning, right? This goes back to what we talked about. How many vendors do you have in the 2 hour drive from your home? Think about it. How many new venues? How many people are dying for content? How many wedding vendors and venues are dying for content within just a short drive from your home? Okay. How many opportunities could there be to get on vendor lists? Right. One of the things that I tell people to do all the time is print out marketing material. Print out magazine PDFs of your studio, those studio magazines, right? Make some really beautiful ones and go to these venues and vendors in person. Go to all the flower shops, go to all the caterers, make appointments if you have to, or just do walk-ins. Try to bring these marketing materials so that they can display them for you. If you just go to the to a florist and you ask them to display the marketing material, they're going to say yes, and it may just sit there. if you created value for them, if you did their photos and their videos and da da da, right, all these things we've been talking about, and then you ask them to put the marketing material there, they're going to display it more proudly, especially if it's their photos. They're going to display it more proudly. They're going to hand it out more often, right? They're going to be telling you, hey, I've already handed out all 50 of your flyers or all 50 of your studio magazines, right? You want these things just like circulating in your city. You want to literally like a COVID-19 just infect in a good way, infect all of the vendors in your city, right? Just have everybody be part of your referral machine. Okay. So proper market research and vendor outreach could yield you an extra 10 inquiries a month. So, what's the proper market research? Like, Vitor, what are you talking about? So, proper market research is identifying those vendors that could use your service. You're going to go on their Instagram, you're going to go on their social media, you're going to go on their website, and you're going to pay attention to what they may need. Let's say a vendor needs new headshots, you're going to make a note of that, or a vendor needs new videos, you're going to make a note of that, or this venue is opening up, you're going to make a note of that. You could put that on an Excel spreadsheet and see where the market gaps are. Well, this vendor here isn't really working with anybody yet. This vendor here doesn't have a preferred vendors list. So maybe this one's not, good to talk to. Ooh, this one here has in-person storefront. Oh, this would be a really great one because they're actually right next to that bridal shop that sells a lot of dresses. Ooh, let me get flyers right in the bridal shop and in that florist because they're in the same little shopping mall or something. So do your market research before you just start willy-nilly, emailing and Instagramming people asking to create free content for them. Sit down, do your market research, find out which venues are opening, which businesses perhaps changed owners. Sometimes businesses get sold. Even like in the wedding industry, sometimes a wedding planner is like taking over that company now, or that company has split up, right? I've seen that happen. Even if it's like an amicable split up, they decided to have their own thing. So people need that content. So do that research, find out, where the market gap is for you to be able to really annihilate the competition, guys. And let's remember the wedding industry is poised to grow 300% in 8 years. So let's say that your business follows this growth. That means that in 8 years, you should be making 300% of what you're making now. So if you're making 100 grand a year now, you should be making 300 grand in 8 years. But if you don't do anything different than what you're doing now, you're not going to follow this growth. You're not going to grow 300% in 8 years. Okay. There are literally opportunities in every niche. And I'm going to give you guys an example. I mentioned to you guys I was going to give you an example. So this is a real world example for my business. My income grew 80% in 1 year after I started offering multi-day packages to South Asian couples, right? To Indian weddings. So, in Savannah, right, I noticed that there were no wedding photographers or videographers that were catering to the South Asian, weddings, to the Indian weddings, and they tend to pay really, really well. They tend to be multi-day. The couples want to work with folks that offer photography and videography. So right now, you can see how it kind of like quadruples my bookings, right? Because instead of being 1 day, they want 2 days. So that's double the booking. But they want photography and videography. So that doubles it again because I'm offering photo and video for 2 days. So I just booked 4 weddings in one wedding. So you guys see how that proper market research is can really yield you a huge amount of results, right? My first Indian wedding I booked was like 12 grand or something. And at the time there was a huge, huge, huge booking for me. And this was many years ago. So that 12 grand is like a lot more now. So keep that in mind that you need to find the market gaps. If you don't want to shoot Indian weddings, that's totally okay. There are market gaps around you. I know a friend of mine, I think he shoots, it's like Romanian weddings. I think he's in the Midwest, and I think they're Romanian weddings or something like that, but he just fell into it. He's like the go-to Romanian wedding photographer in that whole city. It's a big city. I forget, Milwaukee or Chicago or something. I don't know. So there's a friend of mine who lives in LA, and he does ultra Orthodox Jewish weddings, right? I shot one with him. It was actually the most amount of fun I've ever had at a wedding, actually. And that's what he does. That's his specialty. That's his niche. He found a gap in the market. People were not offering that service, and he took advantage of that. I'll give you guys another example. So, all these are good market research. I know a photographer that makes an extra $16,000 every month with photo booths, right? He realized that there were very few photo booths offering in his city, right? He books like 16 weddings like a month with these, for like 10 weddings a month with the photo booths, and they're like 1,500 bucks a pop, right? And he sends somebody there to do the job. He doesn't have to be there himself. It's a photo booth. He pays them 500, he keeps 1,000, and it adds up a lot. If he books 10, that's 10 grand in his pocket that month that he got from doing market research and paying attention to what people were not offering. Okay, so find your unique position in the market, and you're going to be able to stand out from the competition really, really well. Understand these gaps in the market and tailor your services to meet these specific needs. This is going to ensure a steady flow of clients who are looking for exactly what you offer. Okay, so last false belief, guys. We're getting here near the end here. um I'm not confident when closing sales with my leads. So let's say you've done everything right, you got a lot of leads, and it's time to start talking to the leads, and you're like, man, I'm not booking leads, I'm doing something wrong, what's going on? This is one of the most common errors, is the client experience. This is, I mean, it's up there. People's client experience tends to be atrocious. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I'm gonna ask I'm gonna ask a question. So is this you? Is this you guys? I want to know if this is you. Is this how you plan your marketing? This is how you respond to your leads? This is how you handle your consultations? You're just like, right? This is no good, guys. You guys, you need a plan. You need SOPs, standard operating procedures, right? We need organization, right? How do we get over that fear and that stress of doing a client consultation, right? How do we get over that jitter, right? Because I get nervous all the time when I'm doing a client consultation. And then how I kind of lower that stress level, lower that cortisol level, right, is by warming up the leads, right? When somebody contacts you on your website, they are not really a warm lead yet. I'm going to be very honest with you. Not all of them. Some are, obviously. But there's a lot of people who just inquire, like they're contacting like 10 other photographers. They just want to know pricing or something. They're not really quite sure. They were interested, but not super interested. Not everybody's going to be a hot lead. Only when they put like this much text in your contact form, then they're a hot lead. But really, more than likely, they're just a warmish lead when they fill out your contact form. So how do you get over the fear of talking to clients? How do you get over the stress? How do you increase your bookings? Right? You need to. Did I skip one? Yeah. Here we go. Okay, sorry. Here we go. You need multiple touch points. I thought I skipped a slide. You need multiple touch points, guys, for the clients to feel comfortable with you. And those touch points are going to be messages, emails, video messages. They're going to be your marketing materials. That's a touch point. The word of mouth from other vendors. That's another touch point. I've had a ton of couples call me, talk to me and get like a a quote and everything, even a contract. And then they're like, we're going to think about it, which is totally normal. Then 2, 3 days later, they sign the contract, or they'll email me and they say, oh my God, I was calling around and people were asking me, I was talking to planners, or I was talking to venues, or I was talking to caterers, or I was talking to florists, and they were asking me, who's your photographer going to be? Because the other people ask that. The other vendors will ask the couples who the photographer is going to be. And then they'll say, oh, I'm considering Vitor Lindo and I'm considering such and so photography. And they would specifically tell me, the couples would specifically tell me that the vendors were telling them to hire me, right? So the positive word of mouth is one of the strongest touch points that your couples are going to have, right? So this is why it all goes back to taking care of your vendors. When you take care of your vendors and those brides are talking to those vendors, they are going to rain praise about you to the couple, to the bride, and it's going to completely change the game for you. Okay. So clients need our guidance, guys. Clients don't know. Clients need their hand held, right? Clients, most people have never been in front of a professional photographer before. They need their hand held at every step of the way. They need touch points at every step of the way. Okay. So how do you, fix these errors? How do you get a touch point? Perfect touch points all the way around, right? How do you warm up your leads, right? You do this with an incredible client experience. And we really want to turn up the heat, right? We really want to warm up these couples and get them excited to meet you. The most important thing is excitement. I've noticed so many couples are wedding planning is tiring, guys. Couples are like turned off. They're tired. It's, you're like the 30th inquiry they had to make because they had to contact like 3 photographers, like 5 venues, 3 planners, 3 makeup artists, 2 caterers, 4 florists, right? They're talking to so many people. And it wedding planning goes from something that was like a really fun thing that they were super excited to do. They're really excited to get married. It turns into this chore, and you turn that off, right? You turn off this chore vibe by turning up the heat and getting them excited, right? By nurturing and warming up the leads, right? You're going to create a connection and build trust even before the first conversation, making it easier to close the deal. You cannot go from inquiry, right? Like an email comes in to scheduling a call with them, like A to B. You need to have like, C, D, E, F at least. Like it needs to be like, G, H or something, right? That's when you talk to them. You need at least a couple, 2, 3 more touch points. You need to at least text them some information, text them a video, text them a link to a video, perhaps if it's a video you shot on your phones, like a video reply to the inquiry, or it's a video you have recorded that you send like a YouTube link. I send them a YouTube link sometimes to my albums and offerings. So it starts getting them excited about albums and prints and canvases, right? Think about all the things that your business has to offer to get the client excited. Like, think that you're a kid going to Disney. Disney is getting you excited every step of the way. When you're thinking about going to Disney, you also think about, oh man, those lines are really long, right? I love amusement parks. Like I love love roller coasters, but the rides are so long, the lines are so long and the rides are so short. I'm already kind of dreading it, right? They know that Disney people, they know that you're dreading going to the park and standing in line, but they know that you're going to do it anyways. You're going to give them, right, your money. And they know that because they build excitement. They are constantly having several touch points throughout that client experience to where you leave there feeling happy that you gave them your money. So build in client touch points as many as you can without annoying the client, but build them in there into your client experience. Okay. That's really what a client experience is. It's a collection of touch points. Okay. So what are these touch points? Automation, CRMs, which is where you manage your, contacts, correct email sequences, having a good email sequence so that when a lead comes in, they get the correct email reply, the correct auto reply, and so on. Video replies, I talked about them. They can be very powerful. They can be a little awkward because you're just sending a video, just record a video and you're sending to a stranger, right? But they're not a total stranger because they inquired with you. They're interested in your services. So don't feel too weird. I think they can definitely be cool, and it's great to do. So Zoom meetings, positioning through language, elegant email replies, guys. This is a tip right now is gold. Write it down, highlight it. This is the next thing I'm going to say. You cannot reply to your couples, the initial reply, right? They contact you, your contact form comes in. Your initial reply to them cannot be via regular email. You cannot send them, Joan Photography at, joanphotography.com, even if it's your own, URL, even if it's your own web address there in your email. You don't want to do that. It's actually not as professional, right? What's the next step up for our clients? What can we do better for them? I actually use Flowdesk, right? But you can use any other email platform that you want to send my replies. So I send them replies via a very beautifully built but short email template that I have in Flowdesk. So it's mostly visual reply, and it tells a story so that the clients can get really excited about meeting me. It doesn't just have a text reply on a regular email, right? It doesn't matter how great you make that email look, it's never going to be as great as if you put together something special. So try to get as some sort of way to be able to reply to the clients with a visual builder, right? You want to be able to put photos in your reply. You want to be able to maybe embed a video or put a GIF. So keep that in mind. That's really the one of the most powerful tools that I use. It gets people's attention. Okay. Also, another great tool that's part of the client experience is the client questionnaire. You need to have a client questionnaire and try to get the clients to fill that out before you're meeting with them. This is another touch point, right? So this is another way that you're getting information from the client, right? And they are getting a touch point from you so that when you do get on a meeting with them, right, they've already had several touch points. They already got an auto reply from your CRM, then they got a reply from you from Flowdesk, for example, or wherever else, right? Then they got maybe a text from you with a link to watch something. Maybe it's a video reply, or it's the right the some other video that you made, right? And they got a questionnaire. So it's like 3 or 4 touch points. By the time you get to talk to them on your video call, right? Because you can have a video call, never phone calls. You're always going to have a video call with the clients, right? They've already had so many touch points that they feel like they know the brand. They're excited to talk to you. Okay. Um, Properly setting up this timeline, guys, it's going to save you time and money. So this is very, very important. Okay. This is really a client-centric approach, and it's going to make your consultation calls really shoot up in productivity and increase your booking rates tremendously. Okay. So, guys, we're getting to the end. So, we're kind of wrapping up here the 5 ways to fast track your wedding business. I hope that this, workshop has helped you. Keep watching because this is something now to get to the next level, right? Something to get super excited about. That's how you should be feeling right now. So, what if all of your business questions could be answered? What if everything was at your fingertips? What if all the right strategies to grow your business were at your fingertips? What would you guys do? What could you accomplish with your business, with your life, if that was a possibility for you? What if you had a secret weapon? $1 million. What if you had a secret weapon that would allow you to really blow away the competition? So what if you could be consistently and easily booking weddings for 3K, 5K, 10K, 20K. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my master class, right? It's filled with thorough and complete information, just like you saw here today. All right. It's the internet's most complete wedding photography and videography course. That is not a joke. There are, I'm going to, the next slide you're going to see, there's two more slides. You're going to see one slide here with how much stuff is in this course. Okay, guys. I put my 12 years of knowledge into this course. There's are no holds barred. I am teaching you everything that I know. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm not keeping information for myself. I'm 100% telling you guys everything that I know. And I is my deepest desire that you guys succeed and reach your wildest dreams. Okay. This is no BS, right? It's complete course, 12 years of experience, 450 weddings into this knowledge base. So this is everything that you guys get, by the way. And I'm giving you guys a 78% discount on this launch. Okay. This is our course curriculum. We have 28 hours, okay, of instructional material. All right. We have 800 slides of information. All right. It's two modules. We have beginner and professional. I have 34 videos. All right. 350 real wedding example images from my work. All right. Proven tactics and insights that took me 12 years to hone. A foolproof roadmap from A to Z. Literally, I talk about from the beginning. If you've never shot a wedding before, if you've never set up your office before, if you've never set up your CRM, if you've never done anything, if you're starting from scratch, this course will help you go from zero to hero very fast. And if you've already established your business, you've already passed all the basic stuff. That's why we have the professional module, which then is still going to talk about all the important things that you need to know as a professional. And these are it's 14 chapters, guys. 14 chapters. 7 are beginner chapters and 7 professional chapters. All right. I go over everything: SEO, website, business strategies, legal strategies, how to price yourself for profitability, how to network with vendors, how to craft perfect client experiences, how to outsource effectively to save your time. You guys, you need VAs. If you're not living with a VA right now, you, you need a VA. You're working with one hand behind your back. Guys, you get direct access to me, okay? And it's lifetime access. Whenever you have questions, you can just send me an email. You can post on a Facebook group. I'm gonna, talk a little bit more about that here next. I'm gonna show you guys the course, and I'm gonna come back to show you guys all the bonuses here. So give me 1 second. This is the course, by the way. I want to show you guys the actual student portal right here. So I'm logged in as myself here now at the moment. So that's why I only have one lesson. I don't need to take the course. So here is the course. So if you purchase, this is what you're going to see. Okay, we have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, 5. It goes all the way to chapter 14, guys. We talk about Instagram, online marketing, branding. How do you create like a beautiful, engaging brand? We're going to talk about equipment. We're going to talk about software, contracts, setting up business financials, bookkeeper, CPA, setting up your office, setting up your computer station, mindset, market research. This is just on the beginner module. And then we get to the professional module. We're going to talk about vendor relationships, pricing strategies. I have a lot of information on how to price yourself and how you guys can put your packages together to direct people to spend more money, right? How to connect with vendors on a personal level, how to connect with vendors on a professional level. So I talk about all these things, creating unique experience for your clients, closing clients via the discovery call, right? This video call, kind of similar to what we're doing here. I do this with all of my clients, not just my clients, but my clients' family members as well. You'd be surprised if you're not talking to grandma and moms and dads, then you are not selling, 50% of the albums that you could be selling, by the way. So this one here, chapter 13, is actually a very long 2.5-hour video to where I explain my entire wedding day shooting process and how I have ridiculously powerful tricks and tips for you to maximize your time on the wedding day and how you can sell albums on the wedding day. You're like, what are you talking about? Selling albums on the wedding day? I don't want to give it away here because I'm just giving away the farm over here. But if you're not taking advantage of these super secret tips that I teach, you're sleeping because you can be selling a lot of wedding albums on the wedding day by doing what I teach here in the class, by the way. So I talk about product upsells, how to make money with upselling, how to upsell products with a delivery call, and how to set up profits while you sleep so that things are automated and clients are getting automatic reminders about the products that you offer, the specials that you offer. Okay. So all right, let's get back here to the presentation. Hopefully this gave you guys a really good idea of what we have in the course. And here, let's go back a couple slides actually here before I do that. Let's talk about this right here. So um, we have all of these bonuses, by the way. They're literally $6,700 worth of bonuses in this course. Okay. You're getting a black and white preset. You're getting a guide for, styled shoots. You're getting 12 email client templates to plug and play. I have a 40-page PDF studio magazine that's ready to go. That magazine I talked about for you to print and put on the storefronts. I have one of these ready to go for you to just change your photos, right? Change the text, put your own wording and everything and your own copy. Use ChatGTP to change up the copy, and there you go. It's ready to go as a Canva template. I have 4 free wedding photography and videography contracts ready to go. I have 40 secret business questions that you need to ask yourself to up level your website. I have a secret print excitement video that I send to sell my clients more products. Okay. 12 positioning statements to trick and excite your clients, engagement posing guide, five Canva templates to boost your social media game, my sample client questionnaire that I use to get the information from the clients before the meeting. So we also have, lifetime access to the Facebook group, lifetime access to the course. If you need, I also include here 2 review sessions of your portfolio, pricing, and website. So I feel that these are really important. I don't want you to just buy the course and be kind of like left on your own. I was like, thanks for your purchase, deuces. So that's not how we do it over here. I really want you to feel like you are getting one-on-one attention, that you are getting guidance. And so that when you have questions and you need help, of course, you have the Facebook group, right? You're going to have 2 reviews of your portfolio, pricing, and website. So if you don't know, what am I doing wrong, etc., right? You are going to get me to actually review your stuff. I'll do a screen recording session and you'll be able to see all my reviews, and I'm going to send that to you, and you can make all the changes, etc. I'm there to help and give you tips and tricks, and then once you've made all these changes, I can do another review and help you out, just to help you stay on top. I really want you to feel like your hand is held a little bit. You have to do the work now, right? But I'm there holding your hand as you're lifting the weights, like you're squatting, right? And I'm spotting you. Like imagine you're bench pressing and I'm spotting you. That's really how this experience is going to be. A lot of weightlifting references for this one. I feel like I need to go to the gym. My brain is telling me that. That's why I'm doing so many weightlifting references. So all right, so you guys get all of this, by the way, 14 chapters, 28 hours, 34 videos. And I am going to add more, by the way. I am going to add more to this class because I want to give you guys full, complete information. So there will be more chapters. There will be more videos in the chapters as well. But there's no rush because there's so much information on there already. So you get all of this shebang-a-rang right here. All right. Let's keep talking. Let's keep seeing here. Let's go to the next slide. So behind the scenes, you just got that. You just went behind the scenes. So you saw the course. Students are loving the class, right? We have folks that are super experienced photographers that have like 10,000 followers who are loving the class. A friend of mine, Paula, she is international photographer in Europe, and she is killing it. And she loves the course. And she calls me her mentor now, and which is really cool to hear. We have photographers who are beginning as well, and who are just now getting their career started, and that are implementing these and are blowing up. Dalton just bought his Tesla, just bought his first Tesla, and just bought himself a red camera. If you don't know, if you know cinematography, red camera is a very expensive camera. So go on Dalton's Instagram, you can see his Tesla, his red camera when he came. And I've been mentoring him for a few years now, 3 years. And his business literally went from zero to hero. He went from having zero experience at weddings to shooting a ton of weddings on his own. He's booking weddings like crazy. He bought a Tesla. He bought a red camera. It's a $5,000 camera. So he's doing really, really well. So here's what students are saying, guys. So this is really kind of the best feeling in the world when I get messages like this. Rachel got on 3 new venues, vendor lists by doing these strategies that we're talking about here. This is really the best thing that I get when somebody sends me something like this. The best feedback that I've gotten so far really is that somebody said, it was Helen. She said, it feels like you're having a one-on-one class with him when you're watching the course, when you're watching the mentorship class. And that really is like, it means the world to me. I want you guys to feel that your hand is held and that I'm actually here and you're talking to me and we're in this together. Okay. So keep in mind that when you join the course, you're part of a Facebook community. There's 4,400 other pros in this group. You can post your questions. I'm there to help. And there's other folks in there helping as well. Okay. Guys, this is the feeling when you join the academy, right? This is the feeling when you join the $1 Million Wedding Academy. This could be you. You could feel relieved at the end of the day. If you join, if you participate, you're going to feel, you put your head on a pillow, you're going to feel, all my questions are answered, all my doubts are gone. I know what I have to do, I know what I can do. So this could be you. I want to tell you, this course will never be offered at this low price again. That is not BS. This course will never be offered at this low price again. This is an offer that we are only doing for this limited time. This is not sales talk, and you are going to feel like this if you don't jump on this today. Okay, because I don't know how much longer, once we get to a certain number of sales, we're going to increase the price to the actual price. Okay, so don't miss out. This is really the opportunity that you have probably waiting for. If you're here in this, and in this webinar right now, you're probably looking for something to up-level your bookings, to up-level your business, and to really help you achieve your dream life and your dream career. So don't miss out, guys. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you are interested in joining the academy, you can head over to my Instagram profile. The link is in the bio. You can also just email me, send me a message. My email is vator@vator-lindo.com. You can go to my Instagram profile, Vator Lindo Photo Video. Find me there. If you just Google me, you can find me very easily. And yeah, guys, go ahead and sign up. Oh, let me show you guys one last thing. One last thing I have here. This is the sign up page. You're going to get an email, by the way. If you're watching this, you're going to get an email for the sign up page. And you can go, follow the link to enroll. Okay, everything is here. This is the price for the course, by the way, guys. So literally the true price of this course is 10 grand because there literally is that much information and that much content in there. And we're currently offering this course at 2,300. And I will tell you, the amount of information that's here is this is a joke of a price. This is, you can make this by selling one album, right? This is not even like one wedding booking, right? This is literally less than a wedding. So for less than a wedding, you can get 10 years, 12 years, 450 weddings worth of knowledge. So it's a no-brainer. It's, you know, it's what we call an irresistible offer. If you don't jump on this, you're just shooting yourself in the foot and you're crazy. Okay, so click here. By the way, guys, 45-day money back guarantee. I'm giving you guys 45-day money back guarantee. If you are not happy for any reason, if you feel like this is not helping you, this is not propelling your business, this is not what you thought it was going to be, I'm offering you guys a 45-day money back guarantee. And I know that you're not going to be, disappointed. We have 28 hours of content, guys. It's everything that you could possibly want for your business. Okay. If you still have questions, if you don't know, you can always, book a call with me right here, guys. I'm always available to chat. Okay. I'm going to put this link here, guys, in my bio. All right. This link is going to be in my Instagram bio, and you are also going to get this link via the email, the email sequence that you guys get, the automated emails for participating in the webinar. So once again, guys, thank you. Don't forget that you can schedule a chat with me. So message me on Instagram if you want to talk to me more, if you have questions about whether or not this is right for you. I hope you enjoyed this webinar. I hope that you've learned a lot. I put my heart and soul into building this. My wife Sarah and I did. We spent many a day researching this to give you guys a really, really great class. I hope that you enjoyed it, guys. I'll see you out there. I'll see you in the class. Hope to see you in the Facebook group, and I hope to be coaching you guys soon. Bye bye, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.